Welcome back. Great to see you. Open arms. We are now in the fifth installment of the Law of Prayer. And it's been a wonderful journey as we review the biblical secrets of the powerful prayer that God has given us as part of our spiritual armor. And if you remember, we have the law of sincerity, the need for us to have that childlike prayer, the childish part of us that we need to expose to God and stop acting like the adult. We have the law of supply. We realize that God has unlimited supply and we need to believe in it and entrust in it. The law of selflessness, divorcing the ego, just getting ourselves out of the way. Most of the time, if not always, the number one problem is that we're not getting out of the way. We're trying to be too much in control. The next law, the law of love. Paul says it best in the epistles. The only thing that counts is what you do in faith through love. I say it again. The only things that are going to count when we see Christ, he's going to look at everything we've done, all our motives, all our actions through a filter. And says, did you do it in faith? Did you do it through love? And love is so important in prayer. One of the most difficult steps, once you get to the law of prayer, that's a very difficult step. But the next step, the final step, is the most difficult. It is the law of relinquishment, surrender. And this is not only the most difficult, but it's the most important step in your prayers. Most believers, most Christians, most born-again saints, they fail right here at this X. They fail at relinquishment. And oftentimes, unfortunately, pastors don't do a good job sometimes, but there's a huge difference between giving up and giving over. It's very easy to kind of give up and say, well, God, do you do whatever you want to do. But giving over, in essence, really is the best definition of relinquishment. I use an example of the chair. You go to a dinner party and there's lots of people and they're missing a chair. And the host says, would you do me a favor? Would you go to the other room? There's an extra chair. Would you pick it up, bring it over? And so that we could all sit together and enjoy our dinner together. And so you go to this table, you go to this chair, you pick up the chair, you bring it over. And if by any chance you stand at during dinner time and you're still holding onto the chair while everyone's eating, you haven't relinquished the chair. And many times that's what we do. We come to the feast of the Lord, and there's so much blessing that God wants to give to us. There's so much fellowship and love and radiant joy that's part of the fellowship of Christ with all the saints around him. But you're still hanging on to your problem. You're still hanging on to your need. It's when we come to a point in our life that we have this utter reliance. We are completely relying on God. Completely. It's an utter reliance completely, and in two major areas. One, your needs. Not to be confused with wants. Your needs. You need to be able to have complete trust in the Lord for your needs and all your problems, needs and problems. This relinquishment has to have complete trust. It's an implicit trust that God's will is right. Whatever God's decision is right. Romans 8:28. Whatever God decides is the best for me, and I accept that. And this is a very important point here. Until we learn to let go of our problems, until we learn to let go of our needs and place them in the hands of our loving Father, he cannot completely take over. You see, that's part of the reason why we are teaching here and these simple laws that we have to get out of the way. We need to relinquish. I think the best prayer I've ever heard for healing, the best prayer I've ever heard for recovery, the best prayer I've ever heard for restoration is the following prayer. God, I am completely helpless. I'm completely clueless on what to do. You simply need to take over. You need to be in charge. You need to be in complete control. My friends, that's the prayer that God responds to like that. I'm going to give a final example on this concept, this law, this principle, this secret of relinquishment. And I pray that you'll take the time to review the Lord's Prayer, because you'll see all 5 components, all these 5 laws in the Lord's Prayer. What you have to, it's like giving up. The example here is about giving a book to your friend. And so what you first do is you face your problem. You're going to face your problem. This is my problem. This is my need. We're going to pick it up. We're going to look at it with childlike faith. I know who can handle this. And we're going to hold it with this childlike faith. And then we're going to go to the Father and say, I'm completely helpless. I'm completely clueless. But I totally trust in you. And you completely surrender everything in the Father's hand. I know all of us are experiencing challenges and tests. We are in different situations, but God is in control. And I pray that we will all pray with sincerity, absolute trust in God's supply. We will learn to be selflessness and simply get out of the way. No ego, no pride of authorship. Just get out of the way. And that we will learn to love, but we'll also learn to relinquish and let it go. I pray that these words will be a ministry and a blessing to you. The best way you can encourage me is by clicking like, subscribing, clicking that bell. But above all, share the link. Be a blessing. Be a channel of blessing. I love you. He loves you the most. May you have a phenomenal day in Jesus Christ. God bless you.